Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Dan.
This is a board game rundown. Today, we have a short topic to discuss some news, Kickstarters, and talk about a few games we've been playing.
You didn't warm up enough.
I should have done more warm-ups. So, first, what games have you guys played this week?
I forgot, so I'm going to talk about the one that I remember.
Oh, boy.
I played this right after recording last week's episode.
Oh, okay.
I went to my mommy's, and we played a game that she got for free at like a yard sale or something called Sharpshooters.
Oh, Sharpshooters. Okay.
It's basically Yahtzee, but better. It was actually pretty cool. Sure. I don't like Yahtzee very much. It's a roll and write.
It is. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I never thought about that.
Dan loves roll and rights.
So Sharpshooters though was interesting. So it comes with this little this little rounded board with like a fake kind of green felt like a casino looking thing.
Okay.
And depending on how many players you're playing, you have a bunch of dice. So I think we had 8 dice because we were playing a 4-player game. So we each had 8 dice. And basically there are boards that are randomized and they have random little dice on it. Like it'll say 5, 4, 3, 2, right? So it's straight. You get 18 points. And then it will say, so then there will be black dice that say like 2, 2, 2, negative 10 points or whatever. You roll all the dice and then you have to place at least one, but you can place more than one.
Okay.
The person who completes a row gets whatever points, and you have to place the dice so you can trap people into having to place the negative dice. You know what I'm saying? But that was the whole game, and then you get the points, and you keep track of your points, and at the end of a certain amount of rounds, whoever has the most points wins. So it was basically like a Yahtzee because you roll 3 times, right? You could roll yeah, there's some kind of re-rolling mechanism, but obviously you have to place 1 die every turn. But yeah, so we just played that, and we were genuinely surprised with how much fun we had with this little Yahtzee-ish free game that my mom found. You know,
nice,
pretty cool. Called
Cool.
Sharpshooters.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Bob? Bob, you are an avid gamer. You get a lot of games in.
I did.
What'd you got? What do you got?
Well, I learned and played Century: A New World.
Okay, yes.
I liked the game. However, being colorblind, it is not colorblind friendly. It reminds me of Skullville and the issues I had with that.
And that would suck. That stinks so much because Skullville is a really good game.
It was cool.
But I totally get the frustration, right? Like these peppers of these peppers.
Okay, they're a little bit taller. Sure, maybe you kind of, but yeah.
It's not enough. I agree. It's not enough.
And like, I feel like with Century, they could have made fancier bits, and then it made the art because the thing is some of the cubes looked alike, and then some of the cards look alike, but the cards don't look like the cubes, and so that combination I was constantly having to ask, giving away my strategy.
Sure. And plus, you just don't. It's nice, like it's fine if people know you're colorblind, but it's like it sucks to like constantly go.
That's
hey
the
guys,
brown one, right?
I can't tell what it is.
Yes,
right.
that's the leather. Okay, thanks.
Right.
So, like I say, I enjoy the fact that because I've played the other Century games and I like them, like the cards and whatnot, and
Gollum,
and upgrading.
I
love the Gollum edition one.
That's my favorite.
And it's super easy to tell them apart. Yes. But this one I couldn't. And so instead of having the cards in your hand, they're basically on the board, and you have a bunch of little workers, and each position takes like a certain amount of workers to take that action.
Okay.
And then you could bump other people out of the way by paying 1 extra worker than what they have there.
Nice.
And so you can kind of keep bumping people back and forth, but you can't bump your own.
Right.
And then as you buy the cards, they'll have abilities on them where you either like recruit more workers or unlock other locations. And so like I really enjoyed how it flowed and how it plays, but I had such a hard time with the colors.
Sure. You know what we need to do for you? What we got to do is figure out like a kit to fix games like this.
I thought about that.
So that you could just swap out pieces.
And when it's just meeples, I do that. Like I have put like hash marks on ones, taken markers, colored them different things.
Oh, sure.
But when it's the meeples and then they have to match the cards too, I hate having to go through and mark on cards. That's one of my, like I don't mind like painting meeples or trading them out for different ones. Like Anachrony, I had like a difficult time for a while, but then I just upgraded my pieces to my own bits. Now I know what they are.
Right.
But
sure. Yeah. Anachrony, you're never going to get rid of Anachrony.
Never. And now that I have fancy bits coming soon.
And another game, like any other game where you're like, I can get rid of this. Well, if you've marked up all the cards, then it's like,
just sell it to another colorblind person.
That's true. And if I advertise, hey, colorblind friendly, okay. The game is supposed to come with 4 different colors, right? I had a bag of white meeples. I had a bag of blue meeples, or they're not meeples, they're smaller little workers.
Yeah. Sure.
Then I had 2 bags of the pink ones. And in the extra bits bag, you realize that, there wasn't supposed to be 2 bags of pinks. There's supposed to be 4 different colors.
Oh.
And so we were kind of like changing the color on some of the meeples, but then it was like, it's kind of like they're doing blackface.
Right.
So,
Like,
Oh my god.
it's bad. So now they can never run for office.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
it happens. And we might be better off for it.
We might be better off.
Let's see. Games I played. So I played.
You think I only played 1 game?
Yeah. Well, no, you can play more.
Yeah,
You play.
wow.
Well, you only played one.
Yeah.
You only played
But you
one.
did preface
Well,
the whole thing with I
probably
play
played
a lot
more
of
than that.
games.
I don't
You
know.
did. Yeah. Hit us up. Give
Clank
us some
Legacy.
Oh,
Game,
okay.
game
So,
5 of Clank
I'm
Legacy.
so
in the
jelly
books.
because
It's
I
so
love
fun.
Clank so much and have not.
Some of the cards are so funny. Like
Yeah.
you read them and you're like, okay, that's funny. Like, because you go through like this mission because a story will happen and then you'll find this random thing and you're like, okay, that's a clever name. You know,
Yeah.
like
I
Okay.
love Bob's description of so funny. They are hilarious. I look at it and I go, that's funny.
but it's subtle humor, right? Like,
Sure.
I don't want to do too many spoilers, but
Sure.
it's like,
That's one of the
oh,
things
you're in a
I-
graveyard, you find a totally alive something, you know, and it's
Right.
like, okay, that's funny.
That's one of the things I always liked about Clank and Space over Clank is the self-referential cards. Everything is referencing
Something
pop
else.
culture
Well, yeah.
But
sci-fi
this is
thing.
where you're wrong because the Clank cards.
I guess I just know that. I know sci-fi more
also
than fantasy.
do it. It's just
Correct.
you don't get the references.
Correct.
Sure.
Yes.
I guess so.
This
But
is
it's,
true.
it's,
I appreciated
It's one of the
Spaces
things I
more.
really like about like old school Munchkin is like all the old D&D
Correct. References and stuff
Yeah.
that you get.
You're a gamer. Don't say that you like Munchkin.
I know.
You're on camera right now.
Danny somewhere is punching through one of the 7 computer monitors that he has.
I played another game also, but it's going to roll into our topic of discussion today. So I'll go ahead and let
Oh,
you.
mine's not like
Interesting,
super
interesting.
like crazy. Because we got all that Peterson game stuff for reviews, I've been learning them and brushing up on how to play and stuff like that. So 8-Bit Attack.
Yeah.
It's really good. It is a straight co-op. The artwork is all 8-bit, like old Nintendo game stuff,
Nice.
right? And you've got like these heroes with funny names. I kept waiting. I forgot what deck the Hell Goose is in.
was gonna
but
show
there's a
up?
card. It's just like a goose, like a little 8-bit
horns?
goose with horns and red eyes. And it's called Hell Goose. It's got stats.
Nice.
And I'm like, I want to get that card so bad. But the other critters in there, there are. I mean, there are like characters from. Some of them are from like Peterson games, so you'll
Okay.
see like Cthulhu guys, you know, or there'll be some stuff like some characters from Planet Apocalypse in there, which is cool. My favorite thing is in that Halloween expansion.
The Dracula one or whatever.
Yes, the Invisible Man.
Oh yeah.
And in his profile portrait, it's just
There's
blank.
just no artwork.
Nice.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
There's some really good jokes in there.
so funny.
The game is really tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think some of it is because I'm playing 2-player.
Okay.
And or solo, but you're running 2 characters, and having more people and having more characters, I think would benefit. And you
Right.
can do, potentially do more
Access to
stuff.
more abilities.
Yes. But overall, it's a lot of fun. We will be doing a review of it, so I won't spoil everything. But I really enjoyed that. And then I did enjoy playing Unlocking Insanity.
That's good.
With you guys.
Oh, yeah. Played
So
that too
was
just a little bit ago.
That was one I got
guess
in.
that should have been mentioned.
And
in
that
this
also
video.
rolls into our topic.
Right, it will.
Rolls
It
right
will.
into it.
It rolls right. Oh my.
I wonder if I could fit through one of these. I'm just gonna.
Wow.
But other than that, like I didn't play a ton of other stuff this
did
week.
guess
Bob,
who
you got
again?
more? Or you got?
I played the new Welcome to. The
Okay.
Welcome to Las Vegas.
Yes, tell us.
It's rolling right, even though
Right.
it's a flipping right.
Right.
I really like Welcome to Your Perfect Neighborhood, right?
Right.
Where you're very cool. I like it. This game puts it on steroids. It's like
No
there's
doubt.
so much you can do. Like, in the first game, there's these 5 different actions you can take. Now, those are basically like free actions that you can take. And then there's a bunch of other abilities that you do too.
wow.
Yeah. So you're like, you drive your limousine and plot your route to drive in front of like all your red carpets. If you build avenues, like all the casinos in a row, you build, you circle the hotel at the bottom. You're also
Okay.
filling your streets. Some of the casinos need to be built before you can open them.
Oh, nice.
There's golf courses at the top that you can do. There's so many different things that you do with this.
So
Adds depth to it. Like, a lot of roll nights, I think, lack
are
depth.
pretty light. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we can get into that later. But
Okay.
yes, does this play longer, or is it faster? Because
It might be
more?
slightly longer, but there's not as many because the Welcome 2 has a lot of houses. I
sure.
think the bottom one's got
Gotcha.
13 or 12 houses on it, but
Right.
there's only like 7. So there's fewer, but you want to do things like in one row for every even you have in a row, you're going to get points. Like, so if you number them 2, 4, 6, 8, as opposed to like 1, 2, 3, 4,
Sure.
you're going to get a bunch of bonus points at the end too.
Nice.
Because it's like a lucky thing.
So
right?
they mitigate the time by shortening
the amount of things
That's
on
a-
the, like, yeah,
that's
there's
clever.
fewer locations, but more you can do with them.
Sure.
That's so clever.
We'll talk about that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another good little,
all right.
another good
There we go. Well, that's what we've been playing.
joke.
I'm going to get into like 2 things of board game news real quick. Pretty
Okay.
pretty light.
I have
Okay.
one little thing. This was a week for news.
Week.
Well, I mean, other than, I guess this technically wasn't one I was going to cover, but I thought it was interesting, is if you're on Twitter, people have been going after Eric Lang for some reason. He's Canadian. He's a super nice guy. But it's basically because of like the political situation right now.
Sure.
And he had backed out. He had pulled out support from the Origins Online like pretty early. And that's one of the reasons why it got canceled, because everybody else followed suit because they were very slow to talk about the Black Lives Matter movement and things like that. Now they thought, by having a position of neutrality, I mean, they were trying to just be quiet and kind of let things die down.
Right.
And obviously that was not what was needed.
The way to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Not the way to go. So, but people have been going after Eric Lang. Like he got his Twitter account shut off for like a couple days because somebody, the stuff that they were doing to him, something happened where he got like wrongfully tagged for,
Okay.
It got reactivated relatively quickly.
Okay.
But, he's a brilliant game designer. And from everything that I've seen is like a straight up good person.
Okay.
So if you're interested in any of that, you could check out his Twitter. I mean, he's an interesting guy anyways, and he's got a lot of great games. So you should know who Eric Lang is. If you're not into like, oh, who designed this and that, like look him up. He's worth it. He's got a lot of really good games. And maybe you already own some of them. It's been around a while. But to real news, Pandemic Legacy. Is this yours?
Yeah.
0?
Season 0.
Season 0. So it is the third and final entry into the Pandemic Legacy.
We'll see.
If it's final.
Yeah.
If it's final. But yeah, there's going to be more info later this month. But it seems like they accidentally kind of released stuff about it. Like
it was their website. Is
somebody
that what was leaked?
somebody put something on their website
Yeah.
that maybe they shouldn't. So they put an image of like the box cover.
And then it was taken down.
Yeah, but
Sure, it was an accident.
Exactly.
right.
Hey Bob, did you put up and take down that thing we said?
Yeah.
Good man.
Like the Deadpool trailer, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, that wasn't
Oops.
supposed to come
Yeah.
out. So Pandemic Legacy 0. So if you're a big fan of the Pandemic Legacy games, check it out. There's more coming for you.
This interests me quite a bit just from the box art. That was
'Cause it looks-
it looks like I
goes
don't even
back
know
in
what to say.
time.
Yeah, like a noir-y kind of
okay.
look.
Yeah, almost Victorian or
So you don't have all the
Sure.
technology
I say
available
noir
to you?
just because the
Yeah.
like fedoras and overcoat kind of thing. But
bill-
yeah, it could
the
even
bill
be
of the hat.
Victorian. I don't know. It just looks older, and I mean they're calling it Season 0, right? Obviously a prequel of some sort.
Right.
So is this like? Are they going straight back to like Black Plague kind of stuff?
I don't think it goes that
Not Black
far.
Plague. I mean, there was a
That
big
would
plague
be
in the early
noir.
1900s because it could be 20s,
Yeah,
right?
Well,
be
that's what I'm
Spanish
saying.
flu, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying noir is because of the awkward clothing. I just call it that. I'm not saying it's the.
So what you're saying is you don't know what noir
I don't-
means
n-
or how
yes.
to apply
Sure.
adjectives to
Sure.
nouns.
Yeah, I'm saying that my
Or
dictionary.
words to sentences, for
Yes.
fact.
My dictionary is slightly different than yours. That's all I'm saying.
So moving on from Pandemic Legacy, we will resume picking on Dan in a moment.
Yeah.
I'll join in.
Southern
Got a lot of
Railroads.
dirt on that guy.
Southern Railroads by Rio Grande Games is getting a reprint. So it's another one of the line of very popular railroad games. I haven't played any of them.
I haven't
Like
either.
there's Trans-Siberian, I believe, is also in that line. I prepared to be wrong on that. But there are people that will be excited about that. I'm not necessarily one of them, but I respect the fact that there
People
will be
like
some-
trains.
People like train games, man. They like train games.
People do like trains.
I've got 3 train games, and I haven't even played
Are
one
they
of
all
them.
Ticket to Ride?
No. No. Ticket to Ride Europe.
Okay.
Credit Mobiler, which
Okay.
Max Michael, who taught us
Yep.
how to play Tammany Hall,
Yep.
made.
Yep.
And then we have Whistle Stop, which we won
okay.
at Geekway.
Yeah.
Kelly's played it. I have not played it.
Okay.
But it's supposed to be really
I
good.
remember when you guys won that.
So yeah, Southern Railroads, Pandemic Legacy, and leave Eric Lang alone. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
All right, Kickstarters.
Who's going first?
All right, here's the deal. Bob is an innocent bystander in this, but he can participate if he wants. Dan and I are competing for who has the best Kickstarter.
Okay.
So we're going to need people to comment and say like, oh, who did better?
Yep.
Now it's going to be, I'm going to call BS in advance because that's the popular thing to do in politics right now and say that this is rigged because if Bob wins and then never comes back on the show, it doesn't count, right? Because
Yeah, it
this
counts.
is a running competition between us.
Yeah, but I'm just going to go out on top. So.
We talked about it beforehand, and if Bob wins, I win.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
that
we
sounds
did
fair
not.
too.
It's totally rigged. It's totally rigged. We were hacked. There's nowhere
Wait,
to vote.
are we allowing mail-in votes?
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only if I get my hands on first.
So who wants to go first on Kickstarters?
I'll go first because I have a little one that will not win, but I thought it was very interesting.
Uh-oh.
Houston, we have a dolphin.
Let me just say, damn you. Is
that the same one?
I didn't want to be interested in any of the ones that you have, like just out of spite. Like, 'cause I want to win. I don't even want to have to pay attention, but I kind of have to pay attention to this.
So that name.
That's brilliant.
So by HYBR Games.
Sure.
Hyber. I don't know. They made one other game, Soviet Kitchen Unleashed. But
right.
Anyway, 3 to 5 players, social deduction type game. 35 minutes, 16 days left, funded. All of mine are funded. Running for $30
Okay.
right now. So the basic idea is that we are in space. We are a crew of a spaceship. And we need to succeed our mission. Uh-oh. One of us or two of us are dolphins.
And now, it's no surprise to me it's a space game because Dan likes space games.
Yep, space. So they describe it as card-based hidden identity, and the thing that got me to really want to talk about this, other than the hilarious name, is it has this very interesting piece of technology in it that I'm not sure is real. So there's an app.
Let me just tell you, dolphins can't fly spaceships.
No, that part's real.
Okay.
But
Well, if they have a little neuro interface, then
so
maybe
you
they
have
could.
cards in your hand that are like researchers, engineers, and they have special abilities on them, and you are playing them onto the center board. Now, the thing that's really weird is that there's an app that you play with for this game, and your phone sits in the middle, and how they show it in the video is the app points face up, and you take your card, say your person A, like you're sitting on A, someone's sitting on B, someone's sitting at C for this round.
Sure.
Take your card and you hover it over the phone for a second, and it snapshots the phone, and it knows now which roles are in play for this thing, and you set it down. And then depending on which roles are played, because you can lie about what cards you played, obviously, for being a dolphin. Depending on what cards are played, events will happen and stuff. And so the one effect that I know you can do is, let's say that I play a researcher, and my researcher has an arrow pointing left, and then person over here plays a researcher and their arrow's pointing right. Both of our arrows are converging on this person, so we get to check that person's card or something. So we can kind of talk about the table, be like, okay, I'm going to play a researcher. If you play a researcher, we can find out what's going on over here, that kind of thing. There's a captain each round, and the crew has panic that they are showing each round. If too much panic is shown, then the captain is mutinied and someone else becomes captain. But it's just this social deduction game where you're trying to fix the ship while the dolphins are trying to take over and destroy the ship, I guess. And the theme is just hilarious.
Dolphins did leave an engraved fishbowl that said "so long and thanks for all the fish."
Yeah,
so I mean, they can have
in the little trailer, the gameplay trailer, what it is the captain is checking the computer, and then the computer, it says like error, please check floppy, and the floppy just slides out and it's just covered in fish, and he's like, we have a problem.
Wow.
It's so,
I kind of
so
love.
dumb. I love it.
I kind of love how crazy that is.
I know. I don't know why this idea.
I'll let you back it, and I'll try.
Exactly. The second I saw this game, I've just been waiting to say, Houston, we have a dolphin.
I kind of love it. Nothing I have is that funny.
No, mine is not funny. Mine's more serious.
Grown-up games.
Yeah, same.
I talked about French toast last week, and
Hey, we aced French toast last week.
I don't even want to talk about it. That was heaven.
We were good. We were really good at French toast.
We aced French toast. How many times have you heard someone say that?
Never.
Oh.
Till today.
I
was today years old.
I was today years old when I first
heard that. Bob, do you want to go next with one of your Kickstarters?
Well, I don't want to. It's fine. Go ahead.
Interesting.
I know there's got to be one that if you don't have on your list, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Oh.
Because of whose Kickstarter it is.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Unless you don't know about it.
Who? Shem Phillips.
Who?
Shem Phillips. He's the guy who did the. He's from New Zealand. He did all of the.
Here comes Bob's Kickstarter.
One of them, yes.
Yes.
No, that was the Shem Phillips did the. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. I did just back it, but the game just ended.
Oh, okay.
He did the one that Dan picked, the Shelfie game.
Oh, the
yeah.
Shelby
That was
stuff.
Shem Phillips.
Oh, okay.
I did end up backing it, so I guess Dan won last week's competition.
Right, because
I didn't back your
two
game.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no. So as for my Kickstarter game,
Yeah.
I have two,
Yeah.
mostly because the one I'm most excited about, just because of who I am and the games I like, is ending in 2 days, so it'll be over by the time this airs.
Okay.
It's called Domination.
Okay, did not write that one down.
Okay.
I've been thinking about adding this one on here for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would have the broad appeal.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because it's me. I love World War II games.
Yeah.
And I love, the little minis on the map with all the different tanks. And the cool thing about this one is people of the original Axis and Allies really liked the researching technologies. And when they reprinted a
that
lot of the
part
Axis and Allies,
of Axis
they've
and
taken
Allies.
that out. So everybody's basically on the same board. My tanks are like your tanks. My
Don't love
subs-
that.
This one
I want rockets.
has, technology. Everybody's got a technology board. And then they're dual layered. Sold. Yeah. Now it's the same people who did the U-boat, right?
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's Phalanx Games. Yeah. So it's the
Dan
same.
is now
Yes, it's
interested.
the same people. And
didn't
instead of
know
having a
that.
straight map, they're like locations on a board with arrows, right? So like, okay, you're in Libya. Libya, you can go to Southern Europe or you can go to this place, right?
Sure.
But then you have all different types of like the minis that look like the Axis and Allies minis that are.
Well, I think
the
if you're
fancy bits with-
in Libya, you can only go to where Doc Brown is because he took your uranium.
No.
Sorry.
But yes, so it's not it's not a standard map that you would normally see, like, oh, this is Europe, and
Sure.
you can move around on the map. They're just like locations on the board
Right.
that you can, with arrows that you say you have access to these different areas.
Right
So it's
on.
slightly different from Axis and Allies that way.
like it.
Yeah, but then there's also like cards and stuff involved too. So I'm excited to see how it's all going to play out. Like,
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's only 2 days left, so by the time this airs, it's going to be past. But you might be able to.
You might
get
be able
on
to do the
into
late backer, right?
Correct,
The
late
late
backer pledge. If you like Axis and Allies type games or World War II things, this looks like a really interesting blend of those two
That
types
sounds
of
really
games.
good.
Yeah.
You backed it?
I did back it.
Sweet.
Yeah,
That means
so
I
you'll
gotta
get to play it.
it.
And my other Kickstarter game that I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
is
yeah.
Ascension Tactics.
Oh.
You
Yes.
didn't talk about the one I thought you were going to talk about.
Really? Okay,
Go
good.
through Ascension Tactics, and then I'll do mine.
Okay, so
By the way,
Ascension. yes?
disappointed.
Okay,
Anyway.
Ascension Tactics. Ascension's been around for a long time. It's a deck builder game. It's probably up there. There's like 10.
Really?
There's like 10 expansions for it. It's a great deck builder.
I really like Ascension
Yep,
a lot.
it's got as far as deck building, it has a couple different things where there's buy, so you're buying people, but there's also fight, so you're fighting monsters,
Yes.
two different types of things. So with the tactics one, it's adding a board a la Clank style, right? So you not only are you going to be buying and fighting stuff, you're also going to get moves and
I looked
attacks.
really hard at this.
I've got it back, so you'll get to play it. But there's like 20 days left on it, so
There's a
24
lot of time.
days. So there's plenty of time to get in on it. It's already funded.
Ascension is good. The
Yep.
artwork is good.
Yep.
It's got its own universe, which is
Yep.
really interesting.
and I
There's
really
a lot
like
of
Clank,
positives. Yes.
so I figured
Yeah, and Clank's amazing.
it's a tactical combat game that's combining two of my favorite things, deck
Right.
building and
and Clank.
And Clank. So, yeah.
I've never played Ascension, unfortunately.
Even the app plays pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play a lot of Ascension on
and
the
the
app.
Domination is what it's called, right?
Yep.
The first one. I've had my eye on that one for like 3 weeks now.
Yep.
I've been thinking about talking about it on the show, but like I said, first of all, I haven't played Axis and Allies since I was a little kid, so I didn't even get
The newer
that
versions are a
connection.
lot better as far as Axis and Allies are concerned.
I didn't even get that connection of how similar it could be, kind of thing. It just looked like an interesting location-based war game with cool miniatures, and I wasn't sure, especially depending on the other games I wanted to talk about. I wasn't sure the appeal and stuff that it would have. But yeah, I'm really glad it was finally talked about though.
Yeah.
'Cause it looks really cool.
Yeah, I can say that's right up my alley. Like I did War
Right.
Room. Like I went all.
yeah.
I love War Room. It's too bad it takes 3 days. But like if you've got 3 days, War Room is an amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing game.
I'd love to play War Room, but that is going to be like a designated
Yeah,
weekend.
the day we played it, it wasn't even the whole global. It was only the War in the Pacific, and it took us about 6 hours.
Yeah.
yeah,
Sure.
But it was fun. It was
We got to
amazing.
get a freaking team to play U-Boot first.
Yeah, that would be good.
Right? I
We
need to
did
play
try to
that.
play it the one time, but we had a rough go at it.
I still had a great time though.
Yeah,
It was
I had a
just-
lot of fun.
it
Yeah,
was-
it's a lot to learn. They have expansions for that now too.
And it's also that we started at like what,
Late
midnight or
Yeah,
something.
and it was like a whole learning process.
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
there's a lot to learn.
Midnight's never a great time to start to learn a game.
Well,
Even for a night
if
owl.
you're a second shifter, well, yeah, it depends on the game
Exactly.
too. Though. Because we start at midnight, we down 3, 4 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm good with that usually.
Yeah.
It's just that heavy of a game,
At
plus
that-
hours of research ahead of time, and
Yes.
also really quick. I know little side tangent, but I forgot.
All of that, I forgot.
Oh, sounds good.
I'll interrupt a different Kickstarter.
You will.
Yes.
So, Bob, this
All
is
right,
the one.
wow me with your.
This is the one I thought you would have for sure.
Okay.
Because
So-
it's the Mind Clash Games newest game.
Okay.
And you and I love Mind Clash.
We do.
Like Anachrony, right?
Yes.
Anachrony is an amazing game.
Amazing game.
Have you played your Tricarion yet?
No.
Tricarion's really good.
I know.
And it's so crunchy, you'll love it.
I'm sure.
The theme is great. Tricarion's really good.
All the games your sisters recommended me that I've played, I have enjoyed. So I'm sure I will.
I haven't played Cerebria yet, but I
Okay.
own it. Dying to play it because it looks so good.
Okay.
And again, Mind Clash, now they're like medium to heavyweight games. So they're
Yes,
heavier,
they're heavier
style game. But their newest Kickstarter, Perseverance.
Oh, I see. I saw that, and I saw
Yeah.
your sister had backed it, and I thought about it. But I'm already in on some other ones.
Right. Well, that's because, I mean, it's Mind Clash.
Yeah.
And it's going to be amazing because
Yeah.
it's Mind Clash. They're just one of the great game companies out there right now, like a smaller one, that
Yeah, smaller companies that make heavy, crunchy games.
Yeah, and so this one, it looks like you are stranded like on an island. So you've got like this Robinson Crusoe aspect, but it actually is like two games in one. So you either play like when you first get stranded, so like all the characters are like you've got the younger versions of the character, or you play the second version where everybody's older.
Got some new skills.
And so they've got different sculpts for the miniatures, and they've got different abilities, and like they're drawn differently. You know what I mean? Like on their card. And so I didn't write down a ton of stuff about it because
Can I be honest about one thing about that I saw? They have that secondary pledge level with the box and the thing that slides out. And like, I didn't look too in depth about it, but it looked a little gimmicky as far as like, okay, just make me a regular box. Because you're going to make me some weird shaped box. It's not going to fit on my shelf.
Right.
Because there's just one box that's coming out and it's like, that's not this game.
well,
game, but it's like,
but the
keep them standard.
the nice thing though is that they've got these really kind of crazy in a positive way, like really well produced inserts.
Okay.
For either deluxe or the regular.
I didn't look that close at it
So the inserts are made
to fit in there
perfectly.
And is it at least like a standard size that will fit on a normal shelf?
I think so. I mean, I think it is going to
Pick up
be
most
a
of it?
bigger, like an Anachrony, right? Like it is going to be like a bigger box. Like
Okay.
an Anachrony is a more oblong.
I saw the picture and then I saw that had like the flap thing where you can pull it open and look at it, and it's just like, okay, that looked a little.
But you can play the games. You can play both games like together, and
that's
there's like
cool.
a campaign experience, or you can just play one shot. So you got like a lot of different options as far as like how to play it. It's Mind Clash, so. For me, and I know for you, it definitely deserves a look, right? Like you got to at least
play
see.
it. Yeah.
And then their deluxe edition, it's got like metal coins and there's dinosaurs on the island. So there's miniatures
nice.
for the dinosaurs in the deluxe edition. And then one of the resources, and I don't know what they do, are like these berries.
Okay.
And the upgraded tokens are squishy berries. So,
Nice.
which is better than just.
Quick question.
Yep.
Are there dual layered player boards?
I don't know. I have to look.
Okay. Because that might be the,
You're like,
the
get
kicker.
your phone out. No, no, back this real quick. Okay, so what do you got next?
I have no idea what you guys have been talking about for 3 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, Dan, welcome. How you
Oh, it's Mind Clash, so I was like, we're just gonna have this
Yeah, yeah.
conversation.
You haven't played Anachrony?
No, remember it's at like
Anachrony's
it's
really
at like the
good.
top of my list because it's time travel worker placement.
Yeah.
game.
Yes.
That's
I'm, like,
right up your alley.
obsessed.
Yeah.
I know.
It's
If it was
really good.
in space,
And
then it would definitely be.
The art theme, the
say
art
it's on a
style is
different
the
planet.
same as Anachrony. It's like the same
Okay.
artist that did Anachrony.
Okay.
So
Anyways.
really quick, the U-boot thing was
he
with
remembered.
all the things that we had to say about that with starting late and it being difficult and all of us learning. Remember that it made it my top 5 experiences in gaming of all time.
Yeah.
So it's insane.
Even with all those negatives against it, it made it
Yeah,
up there.
yeah. I mean, negatives.
It's very
but
unique.
Hits. Yeah.
Yeah.
So next.
Okay.
This was interesting. Mantis Falls.
Oh, I got that
Game
one
of
written down.
Trust.
We're gonna cancel each other
Okay,
out
we
on Mantis
cancel
Falls.
on this one. So
But
Mantis
let's talk
Falls
about it.
cannot
because
win.
It looks really cool. Did you see Mantis Falls on here?
So this is a sometimes cooperative game.
Oh, jeez.
2 to 3 players. One of you is a dolphin. Oh wait,
One of Houston, we have a mantis. This is the sequel.
Houston, we have a mantis.
So by Distant Rabbit Games, 2 to 3 players, 69 minutes, 17 days left. It is funded. Again, all mine are funded. $29.
Yep.
That's not bad.
So Tim, How do you play this game?
So basically, you are working with up to 2 other players
Okay.
Oh, the theming is really cool.
trying to escape because you saw something you shouldn't have seen.
You are a witness.
You're a witness. But one of you, potentially, not always, one of you is potentially an assassin. So you're trying to undermine the
witnesses.
The witnesses. Here's the rub is there's like street cards that come out. And so you're
Okay.
making your way through the town of Mantis Falls. And there's different challenges that come up. You don't know how much damage I can take. Like so as an assassin, like if you're going to try to kill somebody, you have to time it very well, because if I strike out at you and don't kill you, well, you're like, well, now I know you're the assassin, you dummy. And you can,
Right. Vote them out. Okay.
so there's some pretty neat, I thought it was pretty neat. I know
Yeah. It has a noir.
this legitimately does. And so they told me, I read on one of like the designer diary kind of things, they were really going for like a David Lynch Mulholland Falls kind of feel. So you're trying to get like that kind of nuance to it. And from the artwork and like the theme of the game and everything, I really feel like
the theme is just so interesting to me. I want to see if I actually wrote it. Yeah, so it's just players are witnesses to a crime and work together to survive the night and get out of town in time. It's a hand-building, risk management deduction game. Yep. And I like, first of all, hidden traders, right? I've always liked that kind of thing. Those. Possible hidden traders, like what Dead of Winter does. Right. Interesting as well.
Nemesis.
Oh yeah, good point. And yeah, this game just art style, very minimalistic, and usually I don't like that, to where it's literally just like a white card with like a noir looking umbrella and the words under the umbrella saying what it does, right? Like super minimalistic art, which I'm usually not a huge fan of, but the theme just is coming through to me on this game.
Right. And because of the way the theme is, the minimalistic art style
works.
Makes
and
sense.
I just like the idea that even with the assassin in the game, like just from watching the gameplay video and stuff, it's still a cooperative game for most of the game, and you're just lying to each other. Okay. And I like that very interesting of like, we're just helping each other, we're splitting damage.
Lie to you all day.
Yeah, it's like as the assassin, you are getting closer and closer to this witness. You want them to think of you as a friend, and then you stab them in the back. And that's really cool.
That sounds really good to you.
Yeah, I love it. Bob, I've been wanting to hang out lately.
I do not.
But so Mantis Falls, a game of trust.
Like it.
I like that quite a bit.
Like
by the way, May of next year is the
expected release date.
And that could probably happen because it's really cards and some meeples. It looked like there was some shape.
There are some meeples. It's mostly cards. Yeah, you find allies that give you special abilities. You have to face events together. Yeah, stuff like that.
Right.
By the way, Houston, we have a Dolphin December of this year. We will see.
Yeah.
I'm always skeptical when it's
I don't even like to talk about the expected arrival time because it's usually not really accurate.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yep.
Very rarely.
I don't know. I just always call
too many
that
factors can.
I just call that date the expected shipping time, because then the expected arrival time could be any time in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All right, Bob, you got another Kickstarter?
No, I just gave you both of mine.
Oh yeah, you did.
You went twice in a row like a weirdo.
So I'm going to steal one. No, I just want to make sure.
I don't know the format.
I don't.
I want to make sure I'm not stepping on one you might have, so I can step on one that Dan might have.
Yeah, we'll
did
see.
you write down Dead Reckoning by AEG?
I did not.
Have you seen Dead Reckoning by AEG?
That's AEG, and I didn't even see it.
Dead.
Well, that's a card building.
It is a card crafting
I think
game.
I may have seen that.
Pirate themed.
Yes.
There is I have to research it more, but there's like that dice tower that's the pirate ship.
Uh-huh.
And you drop the dice in and it comes out and it's like the cannons are firing.
Mm-hmm.
So where the dice come out and where they land and what their results are. Makes sense?
You win.
I'm telling you, dude, it looks really cool.
You haven't looked at mine yet. Essential Tactics, you haven't. What do you mean he wins?
I'm just saying that was a one-sentence description. I'm sold.
So it's a 4X game. There's like 19 days left. It's $79 for the base game and $109 for the, I don't even want to say deluxe version, because really what the higher price point gives you is there's like a daily goal, like unlock. So instead of like just regular stretch goals, like the higher cost version gets you like whatever the extra things are. And I didn't look super deep into that because I was just looking at like the pictures of the components and the gameplay. And I like card crafting. I think it's really neat. I like deck building, things like that. So Dead Reckoning. What else you got?
I mean, you had me
That's a
sold.
video game, isn't it? Dead Reckoning?
Is it? Is it?
I thought there was a video game called Dead Reckoning.
In all fairness, that doesn't mean it's actually linked in any way.
No, you're right. But
Sure.
I think there is a video game called Dead Reckoning.
I don't recognize the name, but there possibly is.
There's like Dead Space.
Dark Souls.
I thought it was
I
like
just wanted to say
a
that.
zombie game.
An island?
I
don't know. I don't know. We'll do that on our video game podcast.
Yeah, talk about it in the comments. We'll see.
So my last one, I went very light.
Okay.
Mine's really light.
I didn't see anything that was heavy that really.
all
blew
yours
my mind.
funded. Okay,
So-
cool.
Exactly. All
Mine's
mine are
different
funded.
than yours.
So yeah, Mantis Falls, Houston, both lighter games. Mantis is not super light, but it is 60
lighter,
minutes
for
you know.
sure.
But so Recipe for Disaster.
Okay.
I liked this quite a bit. So a cooking game with the name Recipe for Disaster is just hilarious.
Is
to
there
me.
dolphins in it, though?
So you're cooking dolphins.
Sweet.
You play this immediately after catching the traitor.
Right.
The last game. So this is 3 to 6 players, 10 minutes per round by Sovereign Heart Games.
Okay.
11 days left, $42. But basically, this is another. It's like a snake oil type game, but with more going on. So the basic premise is a card gets drawn and it's a pizza. Okay, this is the example they give, and the pizza has 4 ingredients. It has bread, cheese, tomato sauce, and I'll just say sausage. I don't remember what the last one was.
Sure.
So there are like dairy products, there are meat products, and they're color coded, right?
Right.
So the bread is red cards, the meat is always green cards, or whatever. So you then have a hand of cards of ingredients, and you have to do as best you can to create that pizza. And so there's a market in the middle of the table. You can discard cards into literally like this 3D dumpster thing. You can discard cards in this dumpster to take cards from the center. You can search the fridge, which is a deck of cards. Well, I say search. I think you just take the top card. But you can search the fridge, I think is what the action's called. Or you can dumpster dive. And you get like 10 seconds to go through as many cards in the dumpster that there are, take what you want. And then at the exactly
Brilliant.
and then at the end of that, you roll a die, and the health inspector might stop you for dumpster diving.
Nice.
Funny.
Got some
And
Tiger
then so
King
you
kitchen
play.
going on there.
So that's all just the setup, then, right? Then you get into the snake oil part of the game, where you have to describe why your version of pizza is the best version of pizza.
Okay.
You're like, no, listen, I know that I didn't have sausage, was what you requested, but like I had bacon, like
Everybody
bacon.
loves bacon.
Yeah,
Right.
Hello, it's so much better, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna need some
or like
bacon.
the example in the thing is they had the cheese, the sauce, and the meat, but they didn't have any bread, so they used noodles. They used spaghetti, and so they had to say like, yeah, but like if you crisp the spaghetti and add the spices, like you could imagine making a pizza.
So it's
on
really,
that, you know.
So it's just the BS.
Exactly. I said it. It's
Sure.
snake
Yeah.
oil at that point, right?
Yeah,
You're
right.
just then so then you get points depending on what ingredients you got right, and what ingredients were at least the right color, like you had a meat but not the correct meat. Then everyone rates everyone's dishes 1 through 5
okay.
stars. So I have 5 cards, 1 through 5, or however many people are playing, and everyone puts them like face down and everyone flips it. Oh, so I got 2 3 stars and a 2 star. So that adds 8 points to my original points, and
Sure.
that's my score for the round. Then
I like
So
that.
we're all
I like
judging.
that you do get points anyways, just for making,
Just for cooking correctly.
cooking it correctly,
Yeah.
because that will mitigate the complaint of some people. Now I don't have this problem because I love,
You're talking about
BS
my
games.
complaint.
I love
yeah,
games where
I'm
you
just
can
really
just
bad
BS.
at bluffing.
but well, no, I mean I got one friend in particular that does not like the player judgment games because he's like, well, it's just a popularity contest.
Sure.
And it's like, no, you can do more. Like,
I mean,
you
I
can-
will say it is still probably like 65% the snake oil part of the game.
right, but you can mitigate.
You can.
And the odds of you getting like 1 star every time from like
Sure.
everybody are probably pretty low, right?
Sure.
So
Especially if you make the correct food.
right, really
You probably deserve a lot of stars at that
I mean, Bob
point.
told a funny story, so that got him an extra star, but it's still not better than yours, even though your story was stupid.
Yeah.
You made everything the
Yeah,
right way.
you're a good chef.
Right.
But so I like this. I like pretty much every aspect of this game. I've been wanting cooking games. I don't know why. I hate cooking, but like I've had my eye on Kitchen Rush,
You
and
need
like
to play
and,
How to Serve Man.
I know you talk about How to Serve
I
Man.
really like How to Serve
What's the
Man.
food chain magnet?
sure.
I haven't played any of these games. So again, I just saw this. It's a cooking game. I like the snake oil aspect.
Yeah.
The not lying. But
You would
the,
like How to Serve Man because of the
If you like the
bluffing.
BS thing, like
Yeah.
what was that detective game we played?
which one?
You would enjoy that one. The detective.
Detective Club.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you've talked about that a lot.
Yeah, you would
Detective
like
Club
that.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I was in a real pickle. when we were playing it was pretty fun.
But yeah, Recipe for Disaster.
All
I
right.
liked it quite a bit.
So my last one is super light, but I kind of have a soft spot for like family games where you can play, because I like to play games with my kids. This is something I could play with my daughter. It's called House Monsters.
No.
So you're trying to get it looks like you're trying to get like these cute little annoying monsters out of your house. And really it's just represented by, there's different colors. So there's different kinds of monsters. And then they've got like 3 different kind of emotions. There's like happy, calm, and then like scared or angry. I forget what the third one is. So basically a card comes out. You've got to play a card that either matches the color of the monster or the emotion of the monster. So it's kind of like a Uno aspect of that. And then, but if you can't do it, there's like a punishment on the card. And you just play. It gets relatively quick.
Sure. So
the game
full co-op. And you're fighting the monsters, is what you're saying.
I think you are trying to get all the monsters out of your house.
Oh,
first.
okay. You each have a house. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're all homeowners. See? But no, it's a $10 game. It is not. It is like 91% funded. There's like 5 days left. So when this pops out, it'll probably be like 2 days left. But for $10, I'd take a flyer on a family game that I could play with my daughter and my wife with relative ease. And it is a cutesy little thing. They look cute, but. Yeah, that's my Kickstarters.
I have a quick honorable mention because
Yeah.
I wanted to see if someone talked about it. There's that Conan game.
Oh yeah, the tower.
Yeah, it didn't
something.
look great to me, but that is a mechanic that's very cool. It does what we were talking about: table presence and the Cleopatra game. And Ice Cool does it. So you open the box. There's a bunch of boxes in it that you set up. So on the Conan game, it's like the Russian dolls, right? The boxes keep getting smaller, and then you stack them into a giant tower. And then those are scenarios. So you flip over the top one and you're in that room now and you set up all your guys and you fight in that room. And then so when you beat that room, it's like that Enter the Dragon, that super famous.
Yeah,
Bruce
you
Lee
mean
movie.
Game of Death, where you're going at the different tiers.
But yeah, so then you go to the next level
So
and you have to beat
Akeem
that
Olajuwon's
scenario.
singing one of them.
And
Kind of like a Mechs vs. Minions things where it's like you have to go through the different scenarios.
yeah, I guess it's
or
except.
Descent, or any other game where you go through different scenarios.
Yeah.
Well, sure, but this is all one game, is what I'm saying, right? Like
Yeah.
you go
Yeah.
through all the.
Yeah.
Oh, you do that in Mechs vs. Minions? I haven't been able to. play
Well,
that.
you don't do it all in one game.
Not all
You
in
do it
one game.
Yeah.
no. I mean, it's you play
what
one
I'm
mission.
saying.
You set up the. Well, I didn't realize it was all in one
Game,
One
like you said,
play.
so
Yeah, like one playthrough is getting all the way
yeah,
through
one
the
game.
tower.
The Conan game.
the more you know.
The game is getting all the way through the tower.
Sure.
I got you.
But so that's a very cool looking and interesting mechanic. The game didn't do it for me. From what
What'd
I
be
saw.
really neat is if, like, as you play them, and then you fit them back inside each other, and then by the time you're done, the game's all packed up in the box.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
That would be kind of cool.
That'd be cool. Except
Oh, you tricked everybody into putting it away. Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering the replayability on that though, because the boxes are obviously always the same. I guess the scenarios in the different rooms can be different, but you're always
Yeah.
going to be fighting in room 1 and then room 2.
Right.
and then
Well,
room 3.
yeah, but they're saying they're different sizes. And like, okay, it's a 2x2 room. Okay, now you have a 3x3, and they could have different scenarios in each in the 3x3
Correct.
board.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just because you're using the same board, you can still have different scenarios,
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
different objectives.
So honorable mention: Conan the Tower of something.
So, for those of you keeping track, if you want to vote for the coolest Kickstarters, who brought it to the table? Mantis Falls does not count.
Does not count.
'cause we both
and
brought
neither
it.
does the Conan game.
Neither does the Conan game. But I have Dead Reckoning, Perseverance
Yeah.
by Mind Clash, and the House Monsters
Hold on.
game. What?
You said to bring 3 Kickstarters, and somehow you have 4.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you-
House Monsters an honorable mention. I did have
You didn't tell me 3. You just said, if there's a Kickstarter that you like.
Yeah.
So I brought 2, and you
He
guys
told
gave me
me
crap
3.
for giving 2.
He told me 3.
You bring your A game, Bobby. You brought
Okay.
2 great ones.
Okay.
So Bob has Domination.
Domination and Ascension Tactics.
Ascension. That is a great one.
Ascension Tactics is going to get a lot of love. But then mine was Recipe for Disaster, and Houston, we have a dolphin.
Houston,
Just funny.
we have a
a
dolphin.
funny mention, but not
Yes.
necessarily.
I accept.
Okay.
That's all I wanted.
It made me laugh.
Yep.
Like, I just like the idea of like that random animal is what is.
Yeah, it is very Johnny Mnemonic, though.
I mean, they're very intelligent,
they are.
It is very Johnny Mnemonic.
and I didn't know that they have to control their breathing. I didn't know that. Dolphins, you can't knock a dolphin out or it'll die because it has to know to breathe.
Let's remember.
It doesn't
It's not
automatically
a,
do it.
Not very smart.
Well, yeah,
then,
because
is
it was
it?
automatically breathing while
I can
swimming,
breathe
it
in
would
my
drown.
sleep.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
All
funny
right.
because I was just watching The Boys too, and so
Oh.
the Deep's talking to like
Perfect.
the lobster. No, that one. Yeah, he's my guy.
The Boys is a really good show.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
On to our topic.
On to our
this
topic.
week. We are going to talk about rolling rights.
Get it? All those hints.
Yes.
Right. Mostly because Bob's here. Bob enjoys roll and rides.
I do.
It is a type of game you like, and I'm very like middle of the road, and Dan's kind of like anti roll and ride.
I'm not anti. It's just
Sure
like,
you are.
oh, we're playing
No,
roll and
we're-
ride.
you- in
Only if we
this-
play something else next.
Yeah.
In this scenario, you are the anti.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Sure.
But yeah, I tend to run lukewarm. Like they kind of have to do something really exciting.
I'm like Han warm.
Yeah, sure. You're outside the tauntaun,
Yeah.
but you stink.
I think outside the tauntaun.
Yeah, you do all the time. But Bob also, I think you have more roll and rides than I do, and have
think
played
so.
more
Yeah.
than I do. But so, what are some of your favorites, or what is it about roll and rides that gets you?
I like them because everybody's taking their turn at the same time. The simultaneous play,
Oh,
right?
sure.
Because I mean, I love my big heavy games, but
Right.
sometimes you're like 20 minutes later.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
yeah,
not,
for
let's not
real.
talk about Monumental right now.
Yeah, yeah. Although they're fixing that. In the
I heard
expansion.
that
Okay.
they.
But
oh,
anyways.
good job. They got their $1 billion. Time to fix their game.
Yeah.
This guy.
The one problem I do have with a lot of the rolling rights is like things like Quicks or Yahtzee, you know, is they are very simple, right? There's not a lot of depth to them.
Sure.
Recently, over this past weekend, I have played the newer version of Welcome to Las Vegas.
Right.
And,
That sounds really interesting.
and it's great. Like it adds what I thought rolling rights were missing: depth. The normal Welcome to is very fun. There's a lot you can do with it. They do have the different like holiday theme ones now,
Right.
like
Yeah,
Christmas,
yeah.
and it
But they
adds
really-
a little bit more, but it doesn't.
I guess for
change
me,
it.
that just seemed like the same game. Just
It's the same game
on a
with a little bit
different-
more tacked on,
Yeah,
right? You know, a couple of different things. The Vegas one is amazing because whereas the normal Welcome to, you have like those normal like 4 or 5 abilities that pop up.
Right.
This one, there's a slew of different abilities, right? There's like limo rides, there's inaugurations, like grand openings.
Okay.
And the way that works is that you take these little X's, and then for every pair of X's you get, you could take bonus actions.
Oh, right on.
So you can be like, oh, like this popped up. And I don't like it, but I have bonus actions available. So you can take the bonus actions basically equate to the actions you take in the first Welcome to, right? You can
Oh, sure.
construction, you can move a number up or down.
Right,
Okay.
right.
You can do an expansion like the Biz, right? And you can extend a hotel a little
Oh,
bit bigger.
sure.
You can, instead of taking like the ability that flipped up, you can change it to be any of the abilities.
Oh,
instead.
right. Make it
so
wild.
yeah, so it kind of like makes it a little more versatile, right? And you're like can do those free actions really open things up.
Sure.
And then, so like the top row of your street of ones, as you build them, you put your first one down, they have golf courses on them.
Okay.
And then as you start to, if you want to expand your golf courses, which does allow access to some big points, then you have to expand from where you start. So if you start in the middle with like a 4 or 5, or I should say like a 7 or an 8, then you have to build adjacent on either side. And as you expand it, then you get to circle the golf course and make it even bigger.
Okay.
Okay. But if you like skip a space, like you can, but then your golf course is done. It can't get any bigger on that side.
right on.
And so that helps you spread across the top. If you fill a column of casinos, that unlocks an avenue, which gives you bonus points. First
Okay.
one to do the avenue gets more, then the
Sure.
other ones gets fewer points. As you fill in the numbers across, at the end, you're going to figure out how many either evens or odds you have in a row. So if you go 2, 4, 6, 8, you got 4 evens in a row. So you're going to write that number down. And then you get to add those numbers up for points. And then whoever has the longest one on each street gets bonus points for having the longest one.
Nice.
When you do the limo rides, you drive in front of the red carpets, and there's different types. There's fountains, there's VIPs, there's mafia places. And so as you do things, like the expanded hotels, or you can construct, because some of the ones will be under construction and you can't put numbers there. So you first have to get the construction thing, and you cross out the crane around it, but then you have to circle the money because now you're in debt. But once you open that casino, then you scribble out the money because now you're making money on that property.
That sounds like a lot.
That's what I'm
more
saying.
than
There's so much
regular-
more. And then like if any open monies that you don't have, you have a bank thing, and if you so you have to drive your limo ride around the mafia places to pick up the money things to pay for the
wow.
unfunded bank things that you have. Or you can, at the beginning, you take a hidden vote whether to use the bank or not the bank. If most people vote for the bank, as revealed at the very end, then you add more money to your stuff to have. If not more than half, you only get 2. If everybody votes no, then you don't get to add any money
Okay.
to what you have. And if you don't fund all the things that you haven't paid for yet, it's a negative 20 penalty.
Oh wow.
Like
so you're just betting early on like how well you're going to play the game.
Correct.
Oh my gosh.
There's so much. There's so much more, and it adds depth
Wow.
to
So
a
is
roll and
this
write.
becoming one of your more preferred roll and writes?
It's
then at
probably
this
my
point?
favorite roll and write right
Yeah,
now.
cool.
Yep. Yep. There's a couple of them that are kind of coming out that I have written down that aren't out yet that I was
Sure.
going to talk about.
Sure.
But right now, that's my favorite roll and write.
That's the
just
one.
because there's so much depth to it.
Good to talk about your favorite one first.
Yep.
Wait,
Not supposed to,
way to peek early.
Oh, yeah. That's typical.
Ignore Dan.
Yeah.
We all try.
But yeah.
What do you got? What do you got? What do you got?
Well, let's just talk really quick.
Okay.
Yahtzee and
Sure.
categories are fine games.
Yes.
You know, they're fine.
Yeah.
They're old.
Categories is a great game. I didn't even consider that, but man, see, you bring all these classic games are.
I do this thing called research.
Oh.
And
See, I'm just naturally smart with what I have,
Naturally
and then I just
gifted.
ignore everything else.
if I don't know something, I'm not supposed to know it.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, everyone knows I'm meh on
Right.
roll and writes. You know,
Well, I mean, if you're basing it on Yahtzee and categories, I can see how you're totally meh.
so I have played. I literally have a list of every
Roll and write that you
roll and
played.
write that I've played.
Okay.
Not
2
counting
games.
Yahtzee and categories. It is now, because of today, 4 games.
Okay, so it's not that you don't like them; you just haven't found the right one.
You know, fairness. I've played like the famous ones. You know,
Multiple
I haven't-
times. Well,
Sure, I haven't played Ganshan Clever.
Yep.
I always want to say Hong Kong Fooey, that old TV show.
Yes.
Hong Kong Fooey.
Also incorrect.
It's not a show, right?
It's a cartoon.
It was a cartoon.
cartoon
Okay.
character.
So, welcome to. I've played. That's probably out of the ones that I've played my least favorite. But
Okay.
it's just because while playing it, it was very simple.
It is
You know,
very
I-
yes.
I was just like, oh,
It is
okay,
simple.
You know,
That's why.
after that, I would say On Tour.
Oh yeah, that's good.
That
I have
one
it
was.
written down.
I had fun while playing that one. I liked that spatial element of that game quite a bit. Theming was interesting. I got to write Sive Nortraporp on a game again. It's been a long time. You guys
Named your
don't know what
band
that
that?
means. Yeah, you guys don't know what that means, but that is an inside joke that Levi will get, and I was very excited to be able to do that. That was our Guitar Hero band
Okay.
game back in like high school.
Now it's not an inside joke. It's out.
I know. I wanted it to be outside. You guys didn't get it because it was an inside joke.
But now we'll get
now you're all inside.
We'll all
Welcome to
get
my
it.
Oh
inside.
boy.
Cartographers liked quite a bit.
Yep.
Lot
That's on my list.
more depth.
Yes.
On that one.
Yep.
The fact that, I mean, they're all like this, but not all like this, which I will get to. But the fact that cartographers, your board just winds up looking nothing like everyone else's board because of the choices you get to make and everything. Like I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That helped quite a
That
bit.
does boil down on some of the roll and writes. You're like, oh, you did the same thing I did. Oh, you did the same thing I did.
Yeah,
Oh, you did the same thing I did.
exactly. And
Yeah.
cartographers like that. Like never
it's
happened.
Very rare when
Yeah.
that happens.
So yeah, I like cartographers quite a bit, and then my last one is Unlocking Insanity.
Right.
Very cool game. Does suffer a bit from that. Like our boards look mighty similar
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, we did until about 4 turns from the end.
So that's literally all the roll and writes I've played.
Okay.
And they would probably be ranked in that order. Cartographers, I've only done Unlocking Insanity once, so Cartographers and Unlocking Insanity I'd need to play more, see which one I actually enjoy the experience of more.
Right.
But yeah, I mean overall, again, they are cool. They are fine.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm hit or miss on rolling rights. I will sit and play about any game, anyways, with anybody. But after like 2 rounds of Welcome to, I'm kind of done.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I
Yeah.
just need to play something else. Some of the ones that I really do enjoy, though, because like you know, Quicks is fine. You play Quicks
Yep.
once, twice, you're good.
It's like a Yahtzee.
It is. It is. There's a little more to it.
Farkle. I think I played it as a kid, but
But I love cartographers. Cartographers is up there for me.
Yeah.
I love the whole like you're making your map, you know, and then,
Passing your pad of paper for the monsters.
yes,
Yeah,
there's
that's
a
cool.
ton of really fun and neat things you can do with cartographers.
it's also just an interesting theme.
and it
I
plays and it plays relatively quickly.
Yep.
And it's not super hard to teach. Like you can get people that aren't into games to play that one
I
relatively
think that's a
easily.
big aspect for roll and write games.
Yes, it's very
Just
because
in
like
general.
you know. My fiance and a lot of her friends like aren't heavy gamers,
Right.
But roll and writes are something that they can play.
And my wife, same way, right?
you can play any number of people.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And we have played cartographers via Zoom.
Yeah.
Right. Like quarantining, we have played, and like just print out your sheet.
Yep, print your sheet out, and then here's your card.
Here's your
Put the
card.
camera over the cards that you flip over so everybody can see them. That's a nice thing about this.
It's really good.
This time in history.
I really like You're So Clever or Ganchan's Clever. I really like that one. Have you played that one
I haven't
yet?
played that one.
That was really good. It's really unique.
I mean, it got very famous when it came out. I assumed it was probably good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And a lot of fun. And I can play that one solo and try to beat my own score and do sometimes. I really did like Unlocking Insanity. Again, that and Cartographers have like the most theme.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think.
Which is probably why they're my 1 and 2, honestly.
For roll
Vegas
rights.
has got some themes on it.
Sure. Well, yeah, Vegas.
Sure, well, I haven't played it, but
Vegas more than Welcome to, right?
Yeah,
Like
yes.
Welcome to, you kind of have this generic neighborhood,
Correct.
and you're just
Filling it in.
right.
Yep.
And that's fine. Like, if I'm over, somebody's house and they're like, "Oh, you want to play Welcome to?" I'm not gonna be like, "No."
Yeah.
Well, I'll
yeah.
bring out their Welcome to, and then I'll set my Battlestar Galactica right next to it. And I'll be like,
Yeah,
which
I'll
one
play
first?
yours if you play mine.
exactly.
Although that's a difference of 20, 30 minutes and 4 or 5 hours.
Not if I win in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's why I tried to tell my other friend Tim is we played Rebellion the other day and it took 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, wow.
But he was the Empire and he was not moving. I'm like, let's say we'll play again. I'll be the Empire. It'll be over in an hour.
I will find you.
I will
played,
find you.
We played Empire online. It was what, 2.5 hours?
Yeah,
maybe?
2.5 hours. And that was online, having to be like, okay, I move guys here. Okay, I'm going to move those guys. And
Yeah.
mirroring each other. And
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It
it's
shouldn't
crazy.
take that long. That's why I was surprised it took as long as it did.
Sure.
In all fairness, Jamie Stegmaier says his problem with Rebellion is it always takes 3.5 hours when he plays it. Just saying. And he's a smart guy.
If we play it in person, we can play a game in probably 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
It depends who's the Empire.
Sure.
It's a little quicker.
Sure.
Oof, it's rough. It's rough. It is rough.
Yeah.
But no, roller rights, I think it's really interesting because they're kind of here to stay, right?
Yeah.
I felt like they maybe started off
Like a faddish.
almost seemed like a fad, right?
Yeah.
But then everybody started making them. They're cheap. They're cheap to make. They have a low price point.
Yep. I've got 2 here that aren't out yet.
Okay, yeah, let's hear about 'em.
So one of them is Medici, the dice game. It was on
Oh,
Kickstarter.
sure.
It's finished. Might be able to get on a late pledge. I'm not sure. But it's it takes basically the Medici game and it makes it a roll and write.
Right.
That's happening a lot.
Yeah.
I'll get into that in a
Okay.
second.
Then the other one is the Merchant's Cove, which is not a pure roll and write, but it's the way that game works is, with 4 players, but then everybody's kind of playing a different game.
It's
You've got
like
a-
root style asymmetric.
Yeah, exactly. Asymmetric, where one person's doing a worker placement, but then one person is doing a roll and write.
Right.
And so that seems interesting.
Yeah,
We won't make Dan be the roll and write person.
You backed that one, right?
I did back that one.
It's I'm
I know.
so excited
Yeah.
to play that game. That's
That was
one of those games.
Levi pushed
That's
that
one
one
of
on
those
me,
games
too.
I'm hoping I like more than Bob, and then I buy it from him.
sure.
That happens.
That
That does happen. I kickstart a lot of games, but then I was like, all right, well, here you go.
because so sort of my own personal bias against roll and write sometimes is that it's like, oh yes, blah blah blah, the dice game, right?
Yes.
Like so, there's
Kingsburg just had that as well.
there's the
didn't it?
Imperial Settlers, the dice
dice
game,
version.
which might be good,
Yeah.
but I'm kind of like, okay, because there was Istanbul, the dice game, like 2 years ago maybe, and there's just Puerto Rico. I'm just waiting, like Ticket to Ride, the dice game,
dice game.
Lost Cities, the dice game,
Dice Forge. The dice game.
Pandemic technically had Pandemic the Dice Game, but they didn't call it that.
Where they
Right?
call
It had its own.
Was it the Cure? Or one of
Yeah, it
those?
had its own Pandemic
sure.
the Cure or something.
Kind of
yeah.
over the pandemic.
I've been over pandemic for
A while.
a while.
And people are like, let's play some
Yeah,
co-op.
but then season
Like,
0 though.
we'll see. I haven't
feel like-
I haven't played the Legacies yet, though. And I've heard good things about
The
the
first one is
Legacies.
fantastic.
Defenders
I
of the
haven't
Realm?
played the second one.
Okay.
But yeah, so I have some automatic
bit of beef with that.
pushback, but I get it, right? I mean, these are game companies; they got to make money, and who knows for them, right? Like, say, or like Dan doesn't play a lot of games. We're just giving you a hard time.
What are games?
It's like, man, I think Istanbul
looks.
might be too tough to teach Dan,
Dan.
like just cold. So we're gonna do Istanbul, the
simpler
dice
version,
game,
yes.
and then you're gonna play that, and now you can like scaffold on that, right?
Simple
You build
version
on
for a
that,
simple man.
and now, oh yeah, no, I really like this game,
Yep.
and now you're hooked. So it is a good gateway.
It's funny you mentioned that because something like that kind of did happen. Sarah had her friend and her boyfriend over the other day, and he likes games, but hasn't played a lot of them. And so it's like we started with a DC deck builder, which I know you like, because it's simple,
Right here, baby.
and he liked it. And then so next time he came over, I'm like, let's play Clank. So you're doing deck building, so getting a mechanic to kind of get you in.
He knows
basic concepts.
deck building now, and so now you're going to add the board.
Yep.
It's great.
I think we might have found us a
That's
new
why
one.
Clank is so
Sweet.
good.
Yeah, he likes. He enjoys it. And you should show him the room upstairs. He's like, oh my god. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty.
You
bad.
have no idea, or pretty great.
Pretty great. Well, it depends on if you're my pocketbook or not.
Right.
So my thing that I wanted to talk about for this topic goes off of what you just talked about. I'm glad you brought that up about Merchant's Cove.
Yes.
I think Roll and Write needs to go the route of the deck builder. We've talked about Clank now.
Adding other things in.
Roll and Write needs to be an aspect of a game that is interesting.
Why I'm excited about Ascension Tactics.
Instead of the entire game being a Roll and Write. I think that once it goes down that route, I think it unlocks.
That's a very interesting
insanity.
point.
No, I think it unlocks an amazing possibility. I haven't worked on it at all. I'm working on other stuff right now, but I've talked about before. I have an idea for a Roll and Write game where you are. It's like everyone has their own little sheets and you're all doing things, but you're all working towards an actual central board and you're trying to like repair a spaceship and taking action stuff, but then we all have our own thing.
So you're roll and writing, but your board is different.
Exactly.
So it's like, oh, you rolled a 6.
Different.
Oh, it's good for me, but it sucks for you because you need.
Exactly. Like I really like that idea of making a roll and write where.
Don't tell everybody though.
Work on it.
Just your idea, like the Blade Runner people.
I was holding it out there.
Yeah.
I know. I keep looking at it. I keep almost buying it.
Dan's game. I should just write on it.
Just go around with a Sharpie on every line.
Oh, boy.
But so I think that's gonna help me, especially as someone who's not big into roll and writes. Once it becomes an aspect, like a lot of people are like that with deck builders. They're like, oh, Dominion is fine, but it's kind of boring. It's like, okay, we'll play this game that just adds on this mechanic.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. Merchant's Cove looks very cool.
Yep.
I like that idea that roll and write is a just part one of the mechanics, because that's where some of the games I really do like.
Like Taverns of Tiefenthal. It takes multiple
they
things.
It's like a whole bunch of mechanics added into a thing.
It's what's it called? The fruitcake or whatever of games where you just
sure.
Don't say that though, because fruit, good, right? Cake, great, but
fruitcake, nasty crap.
Yeah.
Right. You're not throwing it through someone's window.
I think we have to
Christmas.
say Jim Gaffigan, so we don't.
Yeah.
Is that his bit?
That was his bit.
Say Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah. That's like if you say that's what she said. Now we have to pay Michael Scott money.
Michael Scott. But but yeah, I think that might be the turning point for me with roll and writes when they start to really enhance other
things with
bigger, more things because generally they're just a little too light.
Too light for you because we've played enough games to where it's like, okay, yeah, this is great, but we should add more. It's like the Taverns Tiefenthal again. Oh, we can play the base game, but no, we've played games before. Add all the modules in. Let's just jump right in and play it.
Well, I mean, even now, DC Deck Builder, I never just play with one hero.
Yeah.
I add
multiple heroes.
Yeah.
All right, choose 4 heroes and we'll play.
Yeah.
I usually do taverns with everything except the signatures, and I don't know why. I just usually
add it.
Harder to teach, I guess. Maybe when I'm playing.
It's not.
I was
okay.
When we learned it, they left the signatures out because they didn't know it at the time.
Correct.
Then I had played the game probably 10 times, never added the signatures, even though it's like a paragraph of extra rules. And then Bob's like, "No, just add them. It's this." I'm like, "Oh."
When we learned it the first time, we played without them as well, I believe.
That might have been
that was the first time I bought the game and I hadn't played it before. Yeah. Yes.
So
then after that, I learned how to play with it.
Yeah.
And it does add more.
I'll never not play with everything because it's just easier.
Yep.
But yeah, so when roll and writes get added in, it's an additional mechanic. I think that there's going to be a lot of neat things. I just sometimes get put off by this is the roll and write version. This is the dice version.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, that's fine. Like there is a market. Obviously, there's a market for them, and people love them. So just because I'm fully aware that just because I'm okay, other people, man, if that's your jam, go for it. Right? Play games, have fun, teach other people.
I think the fact that they are so light, it makes it a little bit easier to not take it too seriously. Because I play a lot of World War II games. Right. I like crunchy. I like serious. But sometimes you just want to
right.
But
and I'm not even saying that when roll and write gets added to other game mechanics and blah blah that it's like, okay, I can't wait for it to get heavier. They can still be games with multiple mechanics in it that are light.
Again,
I just
Taverns
think
of
that-
Tiefenthal has like 5 different game
Sure.
mechanics, and I
Still
feel like
pretty
it's
light.
relatively
I
light.
just
medium
I
pace.
just see roll and writes as a weak leg to stand on alone, and I
Yeah.
think it would help if it had
Sure.
support from other things
Sure.
as well. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying, regardless of depth and
Right.
and
Yeah.
weight.
But I mean, just like deck building is kind of my jam.
Sure.
You know,
And I'll play dog building by itself all the time.
Dog building?
But yeah, I'll play that
With
dog
a big
building.
waggy tail.
Rottweiler legs in the front, but I want little corgi legs in the back. Sorry, sit like this the whole time.
Jeez.
You are a monster.
Yeah.
Why would you do such?
Have
a
you
thing?
tried
Dolphins in space.
it? Yeah. How do you think they got there? Yeah, I would do, I love deck building games by themselves anyway, but yes, when you actually add it in other games, it's so fulfilling having that clank,
Right, more
feel
mechanics,
and stuff.
Yeah.
more things with it?
Something else
Sure,
to do.
sure. Well, I don't have a lot else to add.
Yeah.
Do you have more?
No, I was gonna say it brings us back to Ascension Tactics again.
Ascension
That's
Tactics?
so weird.
It's so weird that everything we said that is good.
Let's redo
Leads
all our
right back
topics,
to-
but alphabetically. So,
Ascension.
So today's topic was card crafting, and you guys blew it because I talked about Dead Reckoning
Yeah.
by AEG, and you guys didn't even have any games
Any
with card crafting.
Zero.
that sucks.
So,
Yep.
well, guys, that's our thoughts on roll and writes.
Yeah.
So hopefully we've been at least
Little informative.
and maybe a little entertaining, slightly
Yeah.
less entertaining.
Yeah.
But for the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
I've been Bob.
I've been Dan.
We'll see you next time.
People
We'll
like
be-
trains.
People like train games, man. They like train games.
People do like trains.
I've got.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.